Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fusion TV. I'm your host Anand, and today we are going to be talking about what to look for when buying a 240 SX. I'm fairly new myself, but I like to give my feedback on what to look for when searching for a 240. I don't plan on making this very technical, so even people who know nothing about working on cars can figure it out. If anyone else has anything to add on, just help me out. Personally, I think you need to know and realize when you opt a 240, it's going to be used, beating, and maybe broken. Very few are driven by your grandmas, and rest are turned into drift pigs. If not at the time of buying, then it'll happen after you own it, so you'll learn as you go on. Now on to looking the car over. First, I would search for rust. This goes for stock, modded, swapped 240s. Extremely rusted is bad and little is okay. But if you buy it, then plan on removing the rust in that area. Search the frame rails under the car. If it's a hatch, then still has a foam wing, check around that. Still a hatch, look around where the hatch seal for leaks or rust. If you notice that it leaks or rust, there is a rust, then try to look in the mat where the spare goes. That'll rust out pretty bad. Look at the front fender for the wheel well. If there's not one, look for rust everywhere around. If the fender bolts to the chassis, if there is a sunroof, check for leaks and more rust. If you haven't figured that out yet, rust is very important. If you're satisfied after looking for rust, then ask about the maintenance on it. Now I'm referring to the stock ones, the KA and the DE. Now I'm sure if you are younger, some guy will try to BS you. They might say, yeah, I change the oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Might be true, but whatever. Look under the Balca via oil cap to see how dirty it is. If it's really nasty, make a mental note for later. Also check the level of the oil. If it's an automatic, then check the fluid for that while you're at it. Most of the time the timing chain will be good, so I wouldn't worry about it so as of now. If it's an automatic, ask if the fluid has ever flushed or changed. Same with the manual. On the engine, look for leaks. Any leak of any kind, mostly oil. I've noticed it tends to be the valve cover gasket or the rear main seal. Valve cover you can see fairly easily. The rear main you can't see at all. You will have to look under the car where the transmission meets the block or on the ground itself. And note that down. Take a look under the radiator cap to see how much coolant/water the car has in it, and see if it's rusted color or not. Hopefully it's not rusted, and hopefully it has a green tint to it, not just a straight water. Another metal note. Another thing is, I like to check is the condition of suspension. Now you can't really tell without driving the car, but you can push down the car, and to me, if it moves a lot, the entire car bounces up and down like a boat. It's probably bad. That's just me. Some may not agree, but actually driving the car is way more useful than just jumping on it. Which brings me to the next point: drive the car. Test drive it. Ask if you can test drive it. Some people will not let you. Hopefully for them, they let you. When you start the car up, listen for any kicks, ticks, knocks, tappings, chattering, anything. If it sounds abnormal or overly exaggerated, then something may be wrong. Just listen for it, okay? If it's an auto, then make sure if it goes in all gears smoothly and doesn't hesitate. If it's a manual, check to see if it goes into every gear. Yeah, every single gear without grinding. If so, make a mental note of it. While driving, see how it rides. Is it smooth, a little bumpy, flows like a boat, etc. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the stock suspension rides, as it's been years since I've had a stock suspension. But it should be mostly smooth. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. But if it floats like a boat, then that shit's blown. Make a mental note of that. Check to see if the clutch is slipping. The easiest way I have found to check this is to accelerate kinda hard. Now I don't mean to try to get to 100 miles per hour. Remember, it is in your car. There's a mid acceleration, I'd guess from 40 to 60 or so in one gear, third or fourth. Or to put it in a higher gear, stand still, meaning stopped in and third or fourth or fifth, and slowly let the clutch out. The car starts to die, then no slippage. If it doesn't die or stumble at all, keep running when the clutch is all the way out, then slippage. Yes, I've actually seen that. And another mental note. Remember all those mental notes you made? Yes? Good. If you had a note on the rust, it's advisable to search for another 240. Now if it's surface rust, it's usable. On the other hand, if it's had holes, going to it's a waste of time. It's not. Then you're going to spend hours getting the rust and trying to cure the cancer. Any abnormal engine noises, ask the seller about it. If no straight answer or one that you don't understand, then go home, look it up and try to figure it out. What's going on? Your answer may be vague, but as long as it's close, you'll know what you'll have to be doing to the motor to make it run correctly. Same goes for the transmission and the suspension. And that's it. Mainly, that's what you have to mainly look for the car. But those are the IMO, the biggest things to look for in a 240. Rust being the biggest, and then at the actual condition of the car. That's all I can think of. If anyone else has anything to add, please do. Thanks for watching, guys. Do like, share and subscribe, and do